Hello, my name is Ann Kelly Kinsman, and today I will be explaining how to tell time on different kinds of clocks. This first clock is called an analog clock. This one is in a lot of schools that we see today. The numbers around the clock are hours, so the big numbers 1 to 12 represent the hours that are shown throughout the day. And the little lines in between the big numbers represent minutes. So there are 60 minutes marked on the clock, and this is because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Sometimes it's easier to count by fives to understand how many minutes are on the clock. For example, if you had a time where the big hand was on the 10, for example, you wouldn't want to count all the way to 50 by ones. You can count by fives. We can do it together, starting at 1. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So there we see that there are 60 minutes, and this is a lot faster than having to count each individual one. So this is how to tell the time on an analog clock. The small hand points to the hours, and the big hand points to the minutes. So the red hand on this clock is representing 3 hours, and the long hand is representing 12, which is actually 0 minutes. So when it points at the 12, when the big hand is pointing to the 12, the time is o'clock. So this clock, for example, is 3 o'clock. Now if we divide the clock like a pie, cut it right down the middle and then across, we are making quarters. So there are 4 sections on this clock, and they're all in equal sections. Each quarter represents a 15-minute section, and you can see this because 60 divided by 4 is 15, and also if you count by fives, each one has 15. So starting at the 1, 5, 10, 15, and so on. When the big hand moves from the 12 to the 3, it is a quarter past the hour. And this is because the big hand has moved quarter of the way around the clock face. Whenever we are moving on the right side of the clock, it's always a quarter past or half past, but on the other side it will be 2, and we'll see this in just a second. And then this is a half past, like I just said, and this is when it moves from the 12 to the 6. So you can see this because it truly is half the clock. It looks like it's divided up into 2 equal sections. And this is a quarter to, like I was talking about. This is when the big hand moves from the 9 to the 12. It is a quarter to the hour. And then this is a digital clock, and this is common in many ways today, and the number on the left is the hours, and then the minutes are on the right side. So this clock represents 3 hours and 30 minutes. So if this were on an analog clock, the little hand would be on the 3, and the minutes hand, which is the long hand, would be on the 30, would be on the 6, representing 30 minutes. So this could also be called as half past 3. And you can see a digital clock on your cell phone or microwave at home. AM and PM represent what time of day it is. Because there's 24 hours in a day, but there's only 12 hours on the clock, that means that we need AM and PM to clarify if it's late at night or early in the morning. 12 AM is midnight. We are all sleeping at this time. But 12 PM is noon, and we are eating lunch at this time. So even though they both are 12 o'clock, it is important to know which time it is, if it's AM or PM. If we say AM, we are referring to the hours before noon. If we say PM, we are referring to the hours past noon. An easy way to remember AM and PM is AM is after midnight and PM is past morning. Okay, that is the end of how to tell time. Thank you.